How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring another game in the Ohio. I know I've definitely posted a good amount of Ohio matches recently, and yeah, I don't think anything's gonna really change about that. Mainly because, well, Ohio is definitely the ship that I play the most off stream, and well, content is content, regardless if you think of the ship as a wanker ship or whatever you want to call it. You may not enjoy Ohio. You may not like seeing the same ships over and over, which is why I also generally don't play Ohio that much on stream. Maybe at least once, but that's about it. And yeah, regardless of the complaints of seeing the ship so often, I'm gonna keep doing it. Kind of reminds me of that one movie where there was that little girl digging a hole in the desert, and then she was like, "I'm tired of this, Grandpa." And then the grandpa was like, "Well, that's too damn bad." And then they dug holes for like 50 years. They found a mountain, ate onions, and then found treasure with like lizards or something. But yeah, basically that movie where yeah, we're gonna keep doing it regardless of what anyone really wants because it's what I enjoy. And yeah, what I don't enjoy though is five destroyer matches. That kind of does suck on its own, especially at the ends of destroyer campaigns, as that's fairly often, as well as well, I guess technically the beginning of the next one following a destroyer campaign. We've had kind of way too many five destroyer matches. It does suck, but it is what it is. We just need to be proactive about it and try our best to support our friendly destroyers as they push in. Because, well, a battleship that actually does push in and supports destroyers will probably be the team to win, especially if the destroyers are actually able to support their battleship and do their job with spotting the enemy destroyers. Um, Basically, myself charging into a point on the map where we can kind of pillar ourselves against most of the enemy ships, especially destroyers and torpedoes, and well, we just wait for our team to get into positions that we can take advantage of getting rid of those said destroyers. Uh, Two Veloses in B cap. We knew there were going to be torpedoes, so we just stopped at this island. We do need to be careful if we sit here for a long time, if they do decide to, I guess, YOLO. Even though they have one rack of torp tubes, they do have the super narrow spreads, and those torpedoes do more than your typical pan European destroyers, and will definitely hurt if they land more than one. One of the Veloses gets spotted in the cap. We do have a smoke in front of us, which we do now go unspotted. So I'm trying to get an opportunity where we can actually finish off that Velos that was spotted. Fortunately, destroyer torpedoes actually catch him, so we don't need to waste a salvo on a low HP destroyer. And yeah, we get a pretty good smash in on that Montana. I do make a mistake here at the time. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but if you look at the map, our team that spawned at A basically completely abandoned. And they're not really trying to slow them down. Not like the Montanas in the enemy spawn. We have one that's sort of kiting away to the border, which if we do not finish them off and try to angle to the GK that we were also sort of not really paying attention to, that's currently at A, we're going to have a big problem and basically remain in a crossfire because we're basically leading the charge on this flank and our team is not trying to do anything on the other flank. We're becoming the main point of interest for the enemy team. Instead of focusing this Montana that's trying to run away to the border, I should be focusing down the Montana on the right, who is currently bound reversing, as well as the rest of our team. He is on a double fire, but getting our main guns on him would definitely make a huge difference, because then I could actually angle towards the GK, basically putting my bow in between the Montana on the left and the GK, and then we could mitigate damage instead of getting smashed and getting citadeled like we just did. But as long as this Montana that's reversing away is alive, we cannot angle in. I was kind of hoping our battleships that have abandoned the other flank and are behind me would help finish off this Montana a lot quicker. They're not actually shooting at him, and it's basically all me. I'm not sure if they were trying to shoot the other Montana that's low running away to the border, but in the time that we were forced to shoot the Montana on the right, the Montana that's running to the border now has popped a heal, so we're definitely not going to be able to finish him off, but at least we can angle towards the GK. Enemy Shima gets spotted trying to leave B. We can't push out, and I'm hoping our friendly destroyers are able to finish him off because, well, if Shima does get away, he is in front of us and we're not going to be able to push. And until our destroyers catch up, then we, well, won't really be able to fight him. Luckily though, our team does shoot at the Shima and we do enough damage that we're actually able to finish him off. But with the Montana now reaching the border, I am a little concerned because if he does go unspotted and tries to reposition towards the top right of the map, if we try to angle to the GK, we will basically be broadside to that Montana, which would not be ideal as, well, being in a crossfire means death for the most part, and I'm kind of hoping he doesn't and he just keeps running away to the top left. We have a friendly destroyer that's kind of with us. He's sort of sailing off into the spawn, which ideally wouldn't be a good idea, although this time he actually does something useful that actually ends up benefiting us. He spots the Montana trying to turn back in, although it's not the way that I would have had to worry. He's turning back in to go towards his GK, which means I can stay angled. Our turrets turn pretty quick because of running with scissors, and dispersion, well, just looked pretty good out of just the front guns. So now we're able to get rid of the crossfire threat from that Montana. Also, the two enemy destroyers that were remaining were spotted in our spawn. So that also means that we're able to basically just push in and charge at the ships at A, which is their GK and their Minotaur. Minotaur and GK kind of sitting at A for the longest time. Had they actually pushed in with those destroyers that were spotted in our spawn and maybe been a little closer to actually help them, again, like I mentioned at the start, if they had supported their destroyers, maybe this would have been a little different for them. But the Minotaur basically sat in A cap the whole time, as well as the GK. They didn't really position themselves that well, although GK was kind of smashing me while I was pushing in, but I feel like that was more of an issue with our team abandoning the flank rather than him actually being in a good position. Had our team not completely abandoned like the way they did, we probably wouldn't have been focused as badly, but at this point it doesn't matter anymore. There's no destroyer to stop us. Minotaur ran away. GK is still just sitting there. We're gonna keep pushing in. We have a good amount of heals. Minotaur's also on the south side of A. Even if he smokes up and tries to farm, I think he's a little too close to the island to actually lob any shells. So we're basically just taking a 1 versus 1 on the GK. Well, actually it's not really a 1 versus 1 as we do have more support than the GK does. And yeah, we are 2 kills away from a Kraken. So we're just going to charge in and basically do what we can. GK needs to stay angled, but also there is torpedoes behind him. I'm not sure if he has sonar at this point, but he's basically turning stern on and is going to beach. He might have sonar to dodge, he might not, but he's going to beach, and well, when he does, he won't really be able to maneuver his ship and he'll be stuck shooting only his rear turrets. And also, well, being stationary, our secondaries will start landing a lot more consistently and will simply just be doing a lot more damage than he can return as their destroyer gets spotted in our spawn. Honestly, we were pretty lucky having destroyers that knew what they were doing. 5 destroyer matches generally end in steamrolls with one team destroyers basically taking out all of the other team destroyers very quickly, which is kind of what happened here, because taking out their destroyers, having the support both from a destroyer and from a battleship, vice versa, you're able to do a lot more. One of the Shimmatorps land on the GK, doesn't quite finish him off, which does get us our 4th kill. Minotaur, realizing his whole team is dead, basically just charges out to die. But our battleships are actually shooting HE, which is, well, kind of lucky for us because that gives us enough time to reload and also get off a last shot to secure our Kraken. So 5 destroyer match, charging in, supporting destroyers, supporting a battleship that's pushing in. Kind of the ideal scenario for a battleship, and well, actually ideal for a 5 destroyer match. Unfortunately, we're not able to get any caps. Destroyers took care of that, which is great for us. And well, we were able to well, get a Kraken, high caliber, Confederate, kind of what we always shoot for whenever we play a Ohio. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ohio is just, it does what you really want it to do, more often than not. Don't get me wrong, there will be those extremely troll moments where your guns fail you and just don't hit anything. But then again, that's why I kind of had the spotter plane, although having 5 destroyers, I kind of wish I had the funny button instead. But it is what it is. We were able to make the most of it. As I also realized I forgot to show the build, which is basically the same as it's always been, and the only thing that I guess will really change is the consumable spotter or secondary button. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Doesn't matter to me, but yeah, that's it for this one. Hopefully catch you in the next one, but till then, have a good one, take it easy, stay safe, and till next time, aloha.